Ukrainian Special Forces launched a decisive clearing operation against Russian troops holed up in the Kotlyne industrial zone in Pokrovsk. By eliminating dozens of enemies, the Ukrainians once again caused chaos and helped restrain the Russians' flanking operations on the western part of Pokrovsk, according to Euromaidan Press media outlet. The Ukrainians had a clear objective: to eliminate the remaining Russian presence in the area and establish full control over the tactical stronghold in the local industrial complex. This operation had been in preparation for weeks, and with Russian forces partially cut off, Ukrainian commanders decided to act. Since these Russian forces were not fully encircled, they remained a significant threat. If left unbothered, they could disrupt Ukrainian counterattacks by launching assaults from behind or using the area as a staging ground for future Russian reinforcements. Euromaidan Press says that clearing the industrial zone would allow Ukraine to focus entirely on pushing back the Russian western pincer rather than fighting on multiple fronts simultaneously. Additionally, by pressuring the Russian troops stuck in Kotlyne, Ukraine accelerated their depletion of ammunition and food, especially as they lacked a proper supply line. The Russians were largely cut off from the south, with their only supply route being the tree belt along the railway line. While this provided some cover for reinforcements, it was insufficient to sustain prolonged resistance, particularly under sustained Ukrainian pressure. Additionally, the hardened road leading into Kotlyne from Ukrainian-controlled territory gave Ukrainian forces a direct and secure path for assaults and evacuations. The area was also beyond the optimal range of Russian artillery and drone surveillance, preventing the Russians from blocking Ukrainian access. Given the complexities of warfare in industrial zones, Ukrainian forces opted for a precise and well-planned operation, making elite special operations the best choice for the task. Instead of a full-scale assault that could lead to high casualties, Ukrainians planned to conduct surgical strikes to dismantle the Russian defensive network slowly. Geolocated footage from the operation shows how Ukrainian drones identified a large concentration of Russian forces inside a multi-story industrial building, according to Euromaidan Press. Recognizing the importance of eliminating the stronghold, a special forces team was deployed to strike before the Russians could regroup. Soon, Ukrainian Special Forces advanced rapidly and stormed the building. Russian troops inside put up heavy resistance, leading to a brutal close-quarters battle. As a result, around 25 Russian soldiers were eliminated as the Ukrainians cleared room after room. In the end, the buildings were secured and the Ukrainians took control of the region. However, after holding the buildings for 2 days, a Russian counterattack caused a fire to break out inside the building where the Ukrainians were positioned. The fire compromised their cover as smoke spread and visibility dropped. Recognizing the potential danger, they quickly organized an extraction to avoid unnecessary losses.
U.S. President Donald Trump told a meeting of governors in the White House that he's had very good talks with Putin and not such good talks with Ukraine. They don't have any cards, Trump said of Ukraine. But they play it tough. However, he insisted, we're not going to let this continue. It would have never happened if I were president, Trump repeated. But it did happen. So I got stuck with it. And our world is stuck with it. According to Associated Press, Trump also praised U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's trip to Kiev last week to try to secure a deal to access Ukraine's minerals with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. I hear that they're going to agree pretty much, Trump said of Ukraine.
But I'm delighted to welcome America's governors to the White House. You're amazing people. Even the Democrats are amazing people, some of you. And we've worked together. Actually, we work very well together. I can't think of anybody. There's one or two, yeah, that it doesn't work out so well, but that's sort of normal. But I do want to welcome you, and I want to let you know that anything I can do, I'm here. I'm here for you. Ever. And actually a record for a Republican. Somewhat historic 4 weeks, and we have a couple of things in the in the works. We're negotiating with Russia, Ukraine, trying to get that horrible situation over with. It's terrible. It's just so terrible. I see pictures that you fortunately don't get to see. You don't want to see them. And that is a killing field. You have young soldiers being killed, thousands a week, and we got to get it over with. It's bad for Russia, and it's bad for Ukraine, and it's bad for us on a humanitarian basis. I've had very good talks with Putin, and I've had not such good talks with Ukraine. They don't have any cards, but they play it tough. But we're not going to let this continue. This war is terrible. It would have never happened if I were president, but it did happen, so I got stuck with it, and the whole world is stuck with it. And right now you have a country that has its cities, they look like demolition sites.